What's going on, guys? In today's video I will show you the best bounce heavy sniper build in one's human. So in this quick build guide we will look into the best weapons and gear set that you want to get. Then I will explain every single mod and show you the best cradle upgrades and deviants to use. And then lastly we will take a closer look at the gameplay, so you would know the reason behind every single build choice and what exactly will give us this insane damage and much more. So, if this sounds interesting to you, then let's get right into it. So then moving over to the build. This setup will focus on the bounce special ammo effect, where each bullet that hits an enemy has a chance to bounce to another target within a 10-meter radius, which will deal plus 60% of your weapon's damage. Then the secondary hit can even crit the target's weak point. So, this build turns every shot into a chain reaction, prioritizing weak spots for maximum damage output and making your enemies melt in few seconds. Let's start off with the weapons, and we are going to be using the HAMR Brahminy, which is a heavy sniper and the backbone of our bounce build. This setup is designed to fully exploit the bounce special ammo effect, with an 80% chance to trigger the bounce on weak spot hits. So nearly every shot has the potential to ricochet, which spreads the damage across multiple enemies. The weapon also has a 35% additional bounce to continue ricocheting from hitting the enemy weak spots, which adds even more destructive potential, allowing your bullets to chain even further. On top of all of this, if bounce does not finish off a target, or there's no other enemy nearby, then the weapon boosts its damage for the next shot. This will ensure that your follow-up attacks will pack a serious punch, no matter if you're fighting a single or multiple targets. Bounce also prioritizes tougher enemies with higher HP, so that your attacks are focused where they matter the most. Overall, this weapon is just not good for the build, but it is the actual build, because it turns each shot into a potential multi-hit combo that can tear through enemy ranks, especially when aiming for weak spots. And then finally, for the accessories, for the muzzle we want to use the compact brake. Then for the optic, the advanced combat optics. Then for the tactics, the compact infrared indicator. Then for the magazine, the tactical SR mag. And for ammo, the steel SR ammo. Then for our second weapon, we have the D50 Wildfire with the vulnerability amplifier. This effect will increase our bullseye vulnerability for plus 8%. Overall, this is a great secondary option for close to mid-range enemies, or when you need to reload your sniper rifle. And then lastly, for our melee weapon, we will be carrying the stun baton, which is a fantastic melee choice for our bounce build, by adding a jolt of excitement to your combat. With its chance to inflict power surge on the light strikes, it sets up heavy attacks to zap nearby enemies, with extra shock damage. This not only will boost up our damage, but also keep enemies stunned and sizzled, making sure that they are easy targets for our bounce bullets. For the mod, I've chosen the recover mark, which when killing marked enemies will give us plus 15% HP and 25% stamina. I rarely use the third weapon, but here it is in case if you ever need it. Then next up we have the gear, and we will be using the Savior helmet with the momentum up precision. This will increase our fire rate by 10% for the first 50% of the magazine, and it also will increase our weapon's damage by 30% for the other 50% of the magazine. Next up we have the Precise Shot mask with the targeted strike. This mod will increase our crit damage by 20% and crit rate by 8% for when we hit a marked enemy. Then we have the Agent Up with the healing fortification. This mod will give us plus 40% damage reduction for 2 seconds when we use the healing shot item. Then we have the Agent Pants with the unstoppable precision. This mod will increase our weak spot damage by plus 20% when a bullet hits a target more than 20 meters away. And then for every additional meter, we get plus 1% weak spot damage, and this can stack up to additional 20%. So in total, if we are 40 meters away from the enemy, then we can do plus 40% more DPS. Then we have the Savior gloves with the munitions amplifier. This mod will increase our weapon's damage by 15%. And lastly, we have the Bastille shoes with the covered advanced mod. Taking no damage within 4 seconds will give us plus 20% melee, weapon and status damage for 30 seconds. This effect will reset when those 30 seconds end. Overall, this is the most optimized gear setup But if you want a more budget-friendly build, then you can go with the Agent set. That will turn your bounce build into a powerhouse of precision and resilience. With these gear pieces, you will get a nifty 10% head damage reduction, so you can take on few more hits without breaking a sweat. Plus, it will add a 10% boost to our weak spot damage, ensuring that those critical hits really will hit heavy. So as a beginner, I recommend to start acquiring a full Agent set, and then when you have better gear, then start getting more specific gear pieces that I mentioned previously. One more massive thing that we need to use specifically are the override upgrades, and on the right side you can see all of them that I use, but the most important one is the tactical combo, for plus 25% weapons damage for 4 seconds after switching weapons or reloading them. Then we have the Bounty Hunter, which after defeating marked enemies, will increase our base damage by 25%, while also increasing your weak spot damage by 35%. Both of these effects will last for 15 seconds. Then the long range enhancement that gives us plus 20% damage when holding the sniper. Also we get 30% chance to automatically reload one bullet, which for a sniper is a huge deal. Then we have the handgun enhancement, which gives us plus 20% damage when holding a pistol. And this time we get 100% guarantee that after we defeat an enemy, we will get plus 1 ammo. And lastly we have the steady hand, which while in the fortress or fast gun status, it will give us plus 40% damage to weak spots and plus 20% to bullseye. Next up, let's take a look at the best deviant, and as there are many choices, so this is more of a personal preference. I really like the Xeno Purifier. This deviant is very easy to get and will automatically move and attack enemies, while also when attacking, it can teleport to the target to attack. This also gives us the same teleportation ability to use as a melee attack. And finally we have the choice of food, which is again up to each player. I really like the Stardust Ratatouille, that increases our movement speed by 20% and reduces stamina consumption by 50% when sprinting. As you saw from the gameplay, you don't have to scope, but you can just run and shoot. So this food will help us in this regard. But of course, if you want to maximize everything to the brim, then you can go with the damage increasing food as well, or anything else depending on what you're specifically fighting. So in a quick summary, if you want to use this newly buffed build, which will melt anyone that comes your way and has extremely high damage, then this is the build for you, so have fun. And with that said, I really do appreciate everyone for watching guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or suggestions, then feel free to leave your comments in the comment section down below. And while you're doing that, please click like, subscribe and enable that notification bell, so this way you could support the channel and not miss any more amazing content. With that said, you have an amazing day and I will see you in the next one. So take it easy, peace.